right.
Good to go.
We are here. We finally made it happen.
Yeah, man.
Welcome to the first edition. We're not official Shopcast yet, but we are
It was exciting.
some of the originals of the shop. So, welcome. And I'd like to introduce Avelino Sanher over here, Gerardo Zambrano over here, and I'm Arsenio Baca. And we are the shop resident artists, and we're here to talk about our history, what we got going on, and just talk about what's going on here at the shop. So, welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Super exciting.
Yeah, me and you have been talking about doing this for
Yeah,
A long time.
quite some time.
I know. This is Shop Talk.
Shop talk, that's it, right there.
Shop talk.
One of many episodes.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, first thing on the books, let's introduce the War Dance at the end of the month here, April 30th. Me and Avelino here, we're going to do our dual show art exhibit right here at the shop. Tickets are now available at theshopmonterey.com, and it's basically our first exhibit together, and it's on movement, the art of dance, the art of fighting, and that's pretty much all we really want to tell you guys about the actual exhibit itself. But it's been something we've been working on.
From last
November is when we were
November.
first concept to now we're getting ready.
Wow. Yeah, it's coming really fast. It's gonna. Yeah, it's like what, 3 weeks away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's right around the
And I
corner.
think it's really good to be the beginners to start.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
That's
set
right.
the standard for our first opening reception or exhibit, full exhibit that we're gonna have at the shop. You guys are gonna set a good example for that.
It's gonna be a fun one. Yeah.
And I'm more impressed of how you guys have managed to not reveal or show or post any of your new paintings. That takes a skill, patience, a lot of patience.
I know it's hard. It's hard.
I know we got some good ones that just gotta hold on to it. Cause
Yeah.
the first ones we did was back in, I want to say, when did we really start?
We start like
November?
now.
I mean, we started talking about it in
We started
November.
talking
His
about-
first, your first painting,
Oh,
Avelino's.
remember,
was the blue one?
in vacations.
Yeah, it was a whole week.
The
Yeah,
whole
that
week
you
we
started
started.
those.
When you were on
Yeah, when we
vacation.
started,
That was
yeah.
December?
December.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, only a selected few people have gotten a chance to see it, and yeah, it does. Like his for sure, and yours, but they provoke a feeling. It's just like, whoa. There's I feel cold, or it's the movement, a lot of movement, a lot of color,
Absolutely.
and they're completely different too, different styles.
So now we got that. We're going to talk more about that. But let's talk about how we all first met. One of the things I really want to showcase Gerardo on, because he really helped bring something that was really powerful for our art community to Monterey, was Art Battle.
Oh, wow. We're going to get into that. We probably need 3 hours for that.
Well, tell me how you got into that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this was probably a January of 2018 I saw it, and just on Instagram, it's happening in Vancouver. I thought it was a Canada thing, and then I saw another post. It was Art Battle New York, and then I took Stitch. He was a local muralist. I think I met him January 2018, and then 3 months, we just hit it off. He was doing those paint with Dolly Saturday mornings on January, 2-hour workshops, paint workshops.
Mm-hmm.
And then we hit it off real quick, and then I took him, I think that maybe 3 months later, I took him to the San Francisco Art Battle, and we saw it, and then we both thought it at the same time. And then he said it. He was like, we got to bring this back to Monterey. I was like, yeah, we got to do it. So it took us 6 months. Subsequently, he told Stephanie, and then Stephanie did I guess you could call it an underground art battle. She still didn't know the full rules of the official one, but she did her own at the XL Public House in Salinas.
Mm-hmm.
This was November of 2018. And then she got at me. She said, well, I ended up getting the license to do the official art battles, and still didn't have a venue, but she said that Dolly was really interested in doing art battle. So it took us about 6 months. Fast forward to like 2019 March. So March was our first art battle, and I knew it was going to take a team. I knew that Stitch's personality. He was a really good MC. So me and Stephanie did all the organizing and producing and stuff, and then Stitch was like the face of it, to showmanship, and the rest was history. Yeah, just it was a broad just net that you're grabbing of all the talent, all over California. And the good thing is that there was only 2 art battles, one down in LA and one in San Francisco, so we were right in the middle, and it fit perfectly too, because we had the luxury of having the art battles on Saturdays too. So all of the other ones in the big cities, they only gave them the venues for Wednesdays, so they were doing theirs on Wednesday nights, which is lower turnout. But here it's like it's a happening, in a small town. So we were fortunate for that, and that attracted talent from Salinas, Santa Cruz, north on the Bay Area and in LA.
All the way from
Erica
LA.
Lujan, Jason Henry, Andre Kalani from Salinas, and we wouldn't have known each other if it wasn't for that. So, and that's how I met Avelino. You were our battle August champion.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and the museum really quickly was attracted to you. Like, oh, this artist is like fast. He's got a sophistication in his brushstrokes and his style and your color palette. So we were like, we got to give him a show. So that's how that happened. And then you were the champion. Then a year, let's say like 9 months later in March, they commissioned you to do a mural, the Blue Dolly mural.
The Blue Dolly.
Yeah, and then you asked me to help you to wear. A few weeks later, then you were like, "Oh, ask Arsenio." I remember Arsenio; he's around, so I was like, "Let's ask him to help us out." So,
yeah, that was the way.
That was the first mural we all worked on together.
The first mural, yeah, and that was a really good collaboration, man. I mean, really happy to invite you guys because you're amazing. And then also, I'm so glad with the museum. They just bring
just the energy there, like just creating there. With let's say our battle champion, Arsenio Avelino, and then Arsenio showed up, and then I was like, dude, this is something, just bouncing ideas off of each other, which is what you wanted, and as the collab. And then
it's funny, when I first met you, I didn't even think you were an artist, because you're all suited out and like you're running around like organizing everything. I'm like, oh, this is one of them suit guys.
Also, I think the same was like, he's just the organizer.
And then I found out you're an artist. I'm like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing.
That was part of it. Yeah, you transformed for the opening receptions. You got you gotta be the showman. Yeah, be the showman there of your show.
Oh, totally.
It was exciting. It was I definitely put in work for that. That was a 6-month exhibit there.
And if anyone who's listening doesn't know what Art Battle is I say was because it's been out of commission for the pandemic, but it was basically 20 minutes, get a round of artists, 4 to 6 artists all in a circle. The audience circles around you, and you got 20 minutes to paint something, and then everyone who's in attendance and even online can vote for the ones that they like the best. So talk about a mind.
It was a great experience.
As an artist, you're like, whoa, what am I going to do? And like for me personally, I've never really painted anything in 20 minutes. So when they asked me to be a part of it, like the first thing that came in my head is like, wow, this is a new challenge. This is something that I've never done before. I'm all about it. Like it was almost immediate where I was like, let's do this. And what a great experience that was.
Yeah, it was definitely stepping out of your comfort zone and putting yourself out there in front of a new audience or just a wide audience. And it really showcases like the motivation of the artist to be like, oh, I'm serious about this. Like most of those artists are like, they're serious about it. They're pursuing their art passion, and they want to grow as artists. We're fortunate to just gather all that talent. And like the magic that came about that. Yeah. When it's a live audience and you're performing for an audience, and then the silent auctions for all the paintings and stuff, and it was a really good experience. And then even Rebecca herself, she was like, "Oh, that's the funnest time I had, in the museum." It was like on the art battle. So
it's a really good thing because you get to meet a lot of people, a lot of artists, viewers, and
yeah,
that's
we
really
felt that magic in San Francisco when I took Stitch, and yeah, just like the tornado of like the audience walking around, and then the music and just that whole vibe and the lights and stuff. So we were like, wow, there's magic here. It looks like a movement or something, but it's definitely, it was an international thing. So we knew it was good. Like it could be a good, a big movement, so.
How'd you hear about it?
I was, like everybody, all artists, we got in that moment that you just want to be home or in your studio painting, creating and this and that. So I just thought, like, I think it's time to go out, to meet people. And my wife also always tell me, like, you should go there, you should. So it was the time before, but I can one day I told my mother-in-law, was, you know what, I'm gonna looking for something that I want to do art, competitions to prove myself, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And she, I don't know how she get it. She's like, oh, there is a art battle, and I said, can you look at it?
Yeah.
And she look at it, and she just called me. She's like, oh, there is 3 art battles, like San Francisco, LA, and Monterrey. And I said, let's do Monterrey because it's close. But
yeah.
So she
Wow.
was the one to,
Well, it felt like something new too, where like let's change it up, where like the artist is not stuck in their studio, like let's bring it out, and so artists can meet artists, and the audience can meet the artists,
And that's a good experience, like you just get out from your, your own.
Yeah, your own little shell, your own little bubble.
And then when you go out, it's like, wow, there is more like me there. There is a lot, so much talent, so much, good artists. And then you just, get attracted to that. Like,
it's electric.
There's definitely an energy to it.
Yeah.
As soon as you get in there, you're like, oh, okay.
That's the way I get to the art battles.
That's awesome.
And then I remember my daughter was, I was practiced, to do a painting. Yeah. She was timing, like.
We did, she was your coach.
Yeah, we did like one painting in 15 minutes, and she's like, okay, you're
faster,
ready.
Daddy, faster.
You're ready. So we are ready. Let's go. So
wow.
It's just to, get the.
No, it's definitely, they recommended it. Yeah, you need to do at least like 3 paintings.
And I was really nervous the first.
I bet.
The first time.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I battled in San Francisco.
But that was amazing. Like, wow, this is good. And then more, it's more good. I mean, you feel so happy when you win. It's like I win. It's like 12 good artists.
Yeah.
And I win. It's then when you motivate.
That was exciting too. It's like you didn't know who was gonna win. Like our very first one in March of 2019. Anthony Jimenez was the champion, and he we didn't expect much. Like it's like very unassuming. He was very quiet. He was just sitting in the corner. He's like, okay, cool, okay, and they were like, oh, he took it. Oh, like, holy crap,
He did a really good job.
That was the same with Alex, who won one of the last ones.
Oh yeah, he came out of nowhere too.
Unassuming too.
Yeah, because he
brought the fire with his paintings.
That was funny. Yeah, those three were a surprise, dude. Like for the first one, Anthony Jimenez. Avelino, sure, yeah, and Alex, because Alex, he didn't show up to the one with the previous one, so he was supposed to paint in that the previous one, and he was a no-show, so I was kind of hesitant of even adding him the second time, and then he wins it, so it's just like, whoa, okay, all right, it's good that I gave it a second chance.
So the second time that I did, so I meet you there.
That's when that was my first one.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you're wearing that shirt because that painting is what even brought me to the art battle.
Yeah, that was what I knew of you too. Yeah, just that painting. Because they posted you. Yeah,
brought me out to Monterey because basically talking like you were saying, like artists just being in your studio. Like I lived here for 2 years in Monterey and never really met any other artists. Just kind of did my own thing in my apartment. Just was painting. Like I have my own client base that I've worked with, so like I was able to do, make some money and do my own thing. But I got into this funk where I was just like, I don't know anybody here. I'm not really doing anything. So I just kept hitting the road and just going to places to do my art. And it wasn't until that painting came along and I was painting it, and I give credit to my girlfriend because she told me, hey, why don't you go, we have the Dali Museum like in downtown. Why don't you just go paint it out there? Because just wanted to finish it up.
Yeah.
And she said, let's just go paint out there. And she came with me, and she's like, I'll just talk to people, you paint. And we did that, and who comes walking up to me is Stitch.
Yeah, dude, I credit Dolly just for having that young energy, and it's like very metropolitan feel of like in a small town. Like Dolly really stands out.
Yeah,
you know, that place, and then the personality of Stitch. That's when I met him, and I was like, okay, this is like, I mean, Dolly, just the energy of the surrealist artist, you know, legend, and you get that feel there, and then Stitch was like his personality was just like, whoa, okay, there's something here, you know, and yeah, and then that's how I saw you. They had mentioned you. Oh yeah, there's an artist, you know, he painted that
And
outside.
actually, this painting, when I searched you on Instagram, I saw that one is. That's what I'm. That's the time that I say, okay, this guy is good. So I need to know this guy, and that's why I told.
Yeah.
To invite you to
do
do
the mural.
together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Since then, we are here.
Yeah, and then it was that mural, and then
We immediately got commissioned to do the ceiling
Oh,
on
yeah.
that mural. And
That was
that's how
quick.
we brought on C. Sevilla and then Natalia.
yeah, C was already C got there with the block party, and then Natalia showed up like a week before we finished it.
What's funny is Natalia's sister was the one that was like
Yeah.
bugging us, like, hey, I have a sister.
Yeah.
She wants to do murals. If you guys got anything,
Yeah.
let her know. And then you did finally invite her out to do the ceiling. And she did her little part. But after that, like, we all loved her and she was part of the team.
Yeah, she went straight to work on those birds, on
Yeah.
those Quetzal birds that you know,
Those Colombian birds.
under Avelino's supervision. He was like, "Oh yeah, try this one." Yeah, that was a cool mural.
That's what I loved about that mural too, was that we didn't we had a plan and vision. We kind of like scrapped it immediately and just said, let's do this. Like let's
Just winging
let's
every
just wing it
figure.
every step. Of the
Today
way
I'm
we
gonna do a
winged
chief.
It,
Like today I'm gonna do a bird or a freaking flying whale.
it
That's
really
it.
showed me that none of us really brought an ego to the mix, which is huge in collaboration. Like you got to leave the ego at the door because.
Yeah, that's come up with like just in my head, like, you know, like every few months I'm like, I just noticed that like we don't have it, like we love praising each other, you know, like our each other's skills and stuff, and that's really cool. It could be rare, you know, in some groups.
I think it's super rare in
Yeah,
our community.
yeah.
Like we were saying, like most artists, we're in our own
And
heads.
competing with other
and
other
we
artists.
just end up, being super competitive
Yeah.
and super self-conscious and all
Mhm.
that. And in this group, it just seems like we're all ready to just what's best for the group, what's the best art that we can come up with.
Yeah, for us
know?
there could be a friendly competition, but I think it's more so motivation. Is like, oh, I saw what Arsenio did. It's like I gotta step it up. You know, like
Yeah.
yeah. So, wow.
What
Oh, we
about
got. I
you?
mean, yeah, we're not done. We just got started. We're just getting
Oh,
started.
Just got started, man.
Well, that's the beauty of it. Like, you're starting to see how we can help each other get better through this collaboration. But
Yeah.
I'm seeing everyone grow. Like, everyone's stepping up their game with every project. We're getting better and better. And it's cool to see everyone's progress and seeing how just working together, everyone's pushing each other. Like, Papa Chano's was a huge challenge for us. And we knocked it out of the park. Like, and especially for me, I was appreciative that everyone was okay with me
taking the reins and
like,
delegating
making that one like
the layout
concept to everything.
Mhm.
But for me, I designed that specifically to challenge everyone, like to see, okay,
That was cool.
Yeah, like I gave you a huge part. Avelino, I know you know you'll take on, but I also did give you a lot to do in your one. I knew you weren't going to have a whole lot of time to do it. And then Natalia really impressed me on her part.
She was fast.
Because she really did an amazing job with how fast she did it, but just how clean it looked.
Mm-hmm.
And C, I know, had the toughest time because C really gets in her head. but I loved challenging her with that. And now, like, I'm just seeing her blossoming and how she just taking on challenges is more and more. Like, she's out in Mexico right now, and she's painting her own mural.
I saw
she
that
just did
one.
a mural by herself. So
that's impressive. Yeah, there's her speed as well too. Like she's grown as an artist, and yeah, I mean we've grown. I've also implementing new tools this year with the Procreate, like rendering and stuff for mock-ups. I'll be getting better at that like pretty quickly.
And let's not forget that you did your own damn ceiling mural by yourself.
I keep forgetting about that. I'm like, I always forget. Like every day, I was just like, "What have I done this year?" Like I don't feel like I've done much, you know.
That's a huge.
But just even looking right here, it's like now okay, now I'm moving on to wood sculpture.
That's right.
It's like different surfaces, you know, different materials.
I think that's a good thing as an artist to feel like you're not, like not too much, but you definitely want to feel that sense of like not.
Variety.
Haven't accomplished enough yet.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you
or a little
keep
urgency,
yourself. Yeah, urgency, exactly.
Urgency.
Which I definitely see in you. But after that ceiling mural, I was laughing because it's like I could tell you needed a break to just kind of decompress. And you were knocking it out, man.
It was good to get rid of that ladder.
Yeah, that ladder was ridiculous.
You come every day, right? Like for 1-2 hours.
I was like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights. Yeah, like 4 hours. 3 days. Oh no, I think I was hitting it on Saturdays too, but yeah, 4 days a week. 4 days a week, 4 hours at a time. So that's 16 hours a week. That's what it was. A little slower than I expected, but
it's a ceiling mural, man.
Yeah.
Those things are beasts.
Man, I really want to tell you that's amazing. You know, ceiling. You did all of that, like right how we are, like you.
Yeah, it's kind of like no holding back. It's just like if we're gonna do it, might as well make something that lasts. It's like, okay, that's it'll leave an impression there. And Natalia even mentioned, she was like, you went like 500% harder than I thought you would on the ceiling. Yeah. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. I'm glad. I'm super honored. Just to have that, the creativity, the freedom to just do whatever, you know.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And I hope you do like, you know, a little something on the wall.
Yeah, I will.
The angels and
I'm
stuff.
planning to do something.
Mm-hmm.
There, like, I really want to do the angels, you know.
And maybe you can hit the roll-up door too on the inside.
Oh, I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for them to give me the green light.
There's plenty of canvas left.
Yeah, no, this place is gonna be constantly evolving, and that's what I love about the shop. It's like there's so much freedom here to just be creative, do what you need to. Like there's no one's holding each other back from like just what do you think. And I like how especially like Chris, Jess, and Niall, they really, when you have an idea, they do everything they possibly can to help and to like nurture that, assist, make it happen. Yeah. Like even with our art show, I'm really super appreciative, especially to Jess and Niall, that they just jumped right on board. They said they wanted to sponsor, so paint. Progress Not Perfection Paint Parties is sponsoring our
PMP,
event. Yeah. And also Hacienda, which people don't know too much about yet, but it's an up-and-coming thing that we're going to be doing. And, you know, they're sponsoring us as well. So it's really cool that we got they want to support us, and they want us to
yeah, that's
succeed.
The first you mentioned it, and I just heard about that this morning through Nile, and I was like, okay, I was like, yeah, some farm or something.
Yeah, it's something in the works, but we're definitely excited for what's gonna happen with that.
And you know that as an artist, when somebody has that great heart to support others, make you create more and be more like
Yeah, we will expand, Yeah, the shop is not the end all be all. It's a good hub. So yeah, we will have many venues, one of which, we can plug in Natalia's next show.
Absolutely.
On I believe it's the 15th of April.
Yes, it's coming up this
14,
the Wednesday. So what's Wednesday?
We got to check that.
Today's the 10th.
We want to be accurate.
Yeah.
Cuz her show's coming up really soon.
At the Reef and Seaside. Definitely go check out her artwork because she's got some amazing pieces. It is the 14th.
Yeah, the 14th of April.
14th. And then I think it's going to be showing for at least a month.
I believe so. Yeah, it's all the paintings she painted in Colombia. She was over there like 6 weeks. I think a month and a half.
We got to get her on here at some point. But yeah, she did 6 weeks in Colombia in a tiny little studio in the jungle.
I love that studio, man.
Yeah, I want to go there.
That's beautiful, you know. I think I can create.
This is really cool. So this is officially like episode 1 of the podcast.
We can't say officially yet. I did get the okay from Chris to do this, but I want to make sure that everything's right. But yeah, unofficially, this is the first episode.
Oh yeah, I mean everything. You start somewhere.
Yeah.
It could be, and this is the Shop Talk podcast.
Shop Talk, Shopcast. Wow.
Oh wow,
we got to come up with a good name. But yeah, something
Shopcast.
like that.
Okay. This definitely This reminds me of the Draftsman podcast. It's a YouTube podcast. These two guys from San Diego. They're pretty prominent, as far as like in the art world. They're like probably the number one art podcast, but not very. I would say it's not hugely like not well known, but it's a specific podcast for the art community.
Okay.
So I think I don't know. Not saying we have the potential of that, but maybe. I don't know.
Totally do, man.
Yeah, it's true. I know. So why not? I'm trying to be modest. Yeah, hopefully we can upload this on YouTube and stuff, and something will come out of it.
Yeah, we got a great producer out there and doing all the hard work for us. Joey out there. Shout out.
It's good to have a team.
Yeah, man. We that's what's so great. Like, it seems like the art community through the pandemic has really, like, we've all come together and decided, we're not gonna give up or get depressed or do anything like that. Like, we all really came together and said, how can we help bring each other up, make things work, get each other business. Like, I got to credit you some more for that, G. Like, you're always the first one to go out there, see what contacts you can reach out to and make things happen.
Thank you.
And, like, that's super important because I'm not like that. Like, for me, it takes a lot to go out there and talk to people. And
I think this pandemic was made for the artists because we're like, oh, yeah, just isolate yourself. Okay, you can paint. Yeah, that's all we got to do. That's what we do. So. I mean, and, outdoors, sure, let's do walls, like businesses right now, they were suffering and they needed more attention to get the, more eyeballs, at their spots. So that just fits, and shout out to Masa for la Raza for helping us with the technical side of this thing. And I think I credit Arsenio, Rob, Masa for la Raza. I credit you two for, just to getting this started, like, just being here, first step is showing up, and like, now more podcasters will utilize this space,
Yeah.
I mean, not just our show, but it's good to get the ball rolling finally on the shop media room.
Literally happened today.
Just out of the blue, like, hey, can we do it? Should we do it? Let's just do it.
Yeah. No, it's been awesome. Avelino, I'm curious about your history as an artist. Like, talk a little bit about
your upbringing and your style.
Just like, what
from
like I believe like everybody, like artists, as a kid you just drawing or things.
But when did you start painting? Did you paint as a kid or?
I started drawing as a kid.
Oh, okay.
But when I was like teenager, I started using paint and more things like that.
Yeah.
And start creating a little bit and helping people with drawings, and at school you have to do your homework and do things like posters or that, help them up. So that was when I started getting into that, because by that process is like everybody's talking about you, like, oh, this guy is nice, he's cool, he draws.
This guy's real nice.
So you feel it like, okay, yeah. And I really like it, from kids. And then I came to America, and then I stopped a little bit, and then went back, and I started doing, spray painting, and then airbrush. So
and then what did you paint back then? Like, let's say your 20s, like, what did you paint?
I did a lot, like low riders, thing,
Okay.
that kind of
Yeah,
art.
yeah, yeah.
Faces, clowns and
So the clowns
cars,
was from way back. That's the
yeah.
most
That's
interesting
that's when
genre.
I started jumping to the airbrush and start
Yeah.
working out. So I used to do like, jackets and then later on my my cousin Pedro said like,
Mhm.
can you just do my car? We have like a Volkswagen bag,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I just started doing it right there. So and then people look at it like look cool, and then more people
Yeah.
start reaching
Yeah.
me, so I start doing more like that. And then I was curious to do uh,
Canvas.
canvas and oil paint
The
and all
fine
that.
art
So I
medium.
start like investigating and check it out by myself. Everything is
Yeah. Yeah, it's just curiosity and stuff.
yeah. I
Yeah.
start
So.
working on it. I like it, so I say boom. So I just from there, man.
Wow.
I just
Yeah, we like to. Yeah, we definitely like to cultivate and
and then
expand your
murals.
social
I
media
start
presence.
doing murals because my friends like, can you do the one here in my house? Can you do this? Can you do that? So I start jumping in every aspect. I just go and paint.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
like
really
that,
cool.
like boom.
So
So
anytime
natural.
anybody asks for anything, you
Yeah, I
just like
just
go
go
for
and
it.
do it.
The free
Man.
spirited artist.
And back home there is not that much money to
Yeah.
to for us to charge or for
Yeah.
them to pay, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I get recognized and then I
Mhm.
start like
Yeah, that's promotion itself. Just public walls. And cars too, because they're out there.
and then I have friends like older than me that also they are artists. And I was really impressed what they doing, and I just go with them. I remember one day they do graffiti, and like we call bombs. There you just jump the
The fence.
the fence and do some stuff.
Oh,
Your
okay. Yeah,
signature,
graffiti.
and
Yeah.
then run.
Tag it.
And sometimes I just went with there just to paint, the wall that they're gonna do something.
Oh, okay. You were the prepper.
Yeah, like just quick thing. That was amazing, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Back in the days.
Yeah. The street kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the big
Nowadays.
city experience is like. Yeah, in the art world, the art in a big city, I haven't experienced that yet.
And then I come out right when all graffiti start like coming up, like like that was the big thing, like
Wow.
that was amazing, man. That time.
Well, it's good to have lived in certain eras and stuff. Yeah,
I
different
didn't
times.
was really good with the sprayer, with the spray
Mhm.
cans, but I was really good with airbrush.
With the brush.
And,
Oh, airbrush. Yeah.
Okay.
I do small pieces or the cars.
Wow.
People bring me their hook.
Oh, yeah.
I just do it there and then they just finish it with a clear
Wow.
coat and that. That was good because that put me in a spot that I can live from there, from that
Yeah.
money. Then
Yeah, just
start-
off of that. Yeah, just do little
just for
airbrush
that.
projects. Yeah.
And that was happy. I say, man, if I can do this like forever,
Mhm.
Yeah.
just live from
It's good
here,
bread and butter there.
man. And that's what I'm doing right now. I stopped a little bit, like
Yeah.
let's say like 10 years I stopped doing art,
Mhm.
but I went back. It's something like it's pulling you.
It keeps
like,
pulling you back
you need to
in.
go back. So
No,
I
I
started
feel that.
getting back. So now from 9 years behind, I start painting like more serious, like almost 100%.
Oh wow.
Okay.
That's when it starts, you know.
That's
Yeah.
interesting that you got inspired by kind of graffiti artists, because I totally feel that, because it's similar to what happened with me. Like, one of my first and biggest inspirations was my homie Jesse Foote, who graffiti artist in San Francisco area, who ended up turning more to a tattoo artist. But man, we did some night missions to the city, and he showed me the spots where people would bomb it, and just like super. I get the rush of that type of lifestyle. Like, that's what really turned me on to being like just an underground artist, was seeing how these guys just get out there and they go and they paint walls, and like they just don't care. Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah, it's
all
a whole
about the
nother-
art. And it's like it's a rebellious attitude to have, but man, there's so much creativity and inspiration in that. And to be out in a big city when no one else is doing mischievous stuff like that. But then to like you're at night most of the time. I don't know if you guys did it at night, but it was always at night.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't see much. You're climbing walls. You're doing all this shady stuff. And then in the morning, daytime, you see like the fruits of your labor, and like no one knows
who
did it.
Yeah,
because you need to keep it. You know,
you could see people are like,
wow.
shit, and like that. There's a rush to that.
Wow,
and that's what really made me.
that I remember my mom said like, I don't want you to get in trouble with the police doing that. You know, like that's why I keep kind of my distance.
Yeah, I've never experienced that.
Know, like,
yeah, that's really cool.
In that time, that was kind of like vandalism, you know.
Yeah, it's still probably still now.
It's a felony.
I think right now in Mexico City, it's like it's open.
It's open game.
It's open, and now, man, it's like it's a big thing there in Mexico City. That one day we're gonna go check it out.
I can't wait. Yeah, I want to check it out. It's been a dream of mine to go check out
Let's
Mexico City in particular. Like, I'm definitely excited for the street art, but also the old school muralists like Diego Rivera and the big three.
The museums over there and stuff.
Yeah, check out their work.
But also, the street walls that have lasted, if they, the murals that they have there, too. From different artists that we've never even heard of.
Well, that's what's cool about street art. Everyone who's in street art knows it's not permanent.
Yeah.
It's one of those arts that is just gonna be there one day, and the next day it could be gone, And so it's just one of the.
Yeah, for me, there's an allure to it's a big wall. And you think it's going to last, but not as much as if it was on canvas, too, I guess.
No, it just takes a business change, even if it's a commissioned piece, the business changes, they want to go in a different
And also
direction.
the outside elements like the weather and stuff.
And especially if you don't ask, it's definitely going to get painted over,
Wow. Yeah, definitely, they definitely require maintenance over the years.
That's why one of my old friends said, like, you do a good piece somewhere, if it's really good, nobody wants to take it down, That's why it's like,
okay,
right?
That's an honor. Yeah, that's a good recognition there. Like, that's a good motivation to do it. It's like, like, see if it's going to be good enough, even though it was done illegally. But
well, that's one of the things that like people don't understand about street art, and it's like a code of the streets almost. Like, it's one of those things where if you want to get rid of graffiti, put good artwork up.
Yeah,
because most people don't want a graffiti over.
They see it
like
as
a solid
ruined
art piece. Yeah, and that's just like unheard code on the streets. Like, you can graffiti any wall that doesn't have anything on it, but if something has it, now if you don't like the piece, people do that too. They'll graffiti it, but if it's a solid piece that everyone respects, they don't touch it. And that's what I wish communities would understand. If they just released artists to do great artwork in all the around cities on public spaces, you would do away with a lot of the graffiti in the urban environments like that the graffiti would be gone.
I think it would probably be just the education and the process of doing it, presenting a good mock-up to the city. It's like, okay, this is what it's going to look like. It's because the artists don't have the knowledge to present a good mock-up. Like, they would just do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more natural for them to just create it on the wall. They still don't know what it's going to look like, but the professional artists would be like, oh, this is what I'm going to paint, this is the design, and the city sees it, everybody knows, okay, we're down with that. So then everybody's on the same page. But yeah, it's there's different styles, of working, of doing, of creating. But
well, that's what I like even what we got going on with Sand City. I like when cities put together mural festivals where they really do put the artists on display and say, hey, we're gonna help you guys actually get big walls and let you guys go to town.
That's pretty exciting. Yeah, it's definitely a new movement that's carried on from the big cities. Let's say Denver, that they do in Florida and stuff.
Sacramento.
It's refreshing to hear, to see that our small town is going to start working on that,
Yeah. I think every city needs to implement some type of arts program where it does display it out for the community, because there's a lot of great artists everywhere, and they all deserve to have a chance.
Yeah, and they motivate, the young people,
Yeah, it does take like a big city artist to get out of his shell, go to a small town in Monterey, let's bring some more artists. Like, this is how it can be done. You know, you can do mural festivals in your city, you know, stuff like that. So, kudos to those artists.
Totally. What was your first, like,
mural?
What inspired you in getting arts?
Oh yeah, it could be like three different elements. Just by mistake, it was 2017. It was watching the Super Bowl and stuff, and I have the musician friend Alex who he said, "Oh, you haven't done art in like a long time," and I was doing like little video editing and stuff for parties I used to throw. But yeah, it had been like 10 years prior to starting to paint in 2017. I was just drawing in pencil, and then that year came. It was a politically charged moment, you know, with that administration, and also I wanted to do art again or just try something. So I did a canvas of the New England Patriots quarterback, TB12. You guys remember Tom Brady? Yeah. So I bought some acrylic tubes, you know, and had a 4 foot by 2 foot canvas, and just play with it, slap a bunch of color on it, and I liked it. I was like, okay, the proportions looks good. Let's finish the paint and then paint some more. And then right off the bat, like a week, I go to a friend's barbecue. His brother, he's like, "Oh, can you paint me a Steve Young 49ers?" Like, yeah, dude, just give me a deadline so I can be motivated to finish it. So 2 weeks later, I mean, I finished it in like a few days, and there it is. I give him that, and then I'm like, okay, let me finish the rest of the paint. So keep doing it, and then the process was more so for the time lapse. I like the editing, so it was the experience of creating the time lapse, adding some cool music, and it was that process. That was what the fun part was, and then the painting at the end was just the byproduct. It's just, oh, here something comes out of this experience that you're doing, creating the magic of editing, cutting things out, and just from my iPhone, just doing the time lapse thing. And then figuring out some cool apps to put some music and stuff, and it was that process. Trilogies too. I that was my art form. It was doing 3 of one theme. So let's say that 3 athletes. Then I was like, what else do I like? The Cali Roots Festival, 3 reggae bands, UFC, 3 UFC fighters. 3 paintings of that. So did 6 paintings of an acrylic, and then I said, oh, let's not play around. Let me just go ahead and watch some YouTube videos and start oil painting. So then I started oil painting. I made so basically in a span of like 3 months, I did like I would say like 20 paintings, and I was like, oh, now I'm gonna need some place to show it. Mm-hmm. So I did the West End in 2017. And that was my just a little thing there, show it, make some prints, see if they sell, and just kicked off from there. So did that event, and then some guy walked by, hey, I'm doing a reggae festival in Greenfield. I'm like, okay, I don't know where that's at, or like a park in Greenfield, like Patriot Park. I'm like, okay, sure, why not? In a month, or so I did it in October. Painted some more paintings. I did some live painting there. I think it was who was the headliner? It was True Press was one of the bands, and the headliner was Stephen Marley. I think so. I think it was a Marley, but he was like the headliner. And so I did that, and then just from there, just do more events. And the Seaside City Hall was doing a competition, so that winter, by December, I entered the Tom Brady there. I got the 2nd place ribbon, and then I also entered a bronze sculpture from like 2012. So, and what the weird thing is, it was Small World or whatever. Before I met C, she was the judge for that competition. No way. She voted for that octopus bronze sculpture because she likes octopus and she wanted to encourage that artist to do more sculpture. So I didn't even know her that at that time, but yeah, she said, "Oh yeah, I was judging that." Oh, okay. So that's how that happened.
So you did the octopus?
Yeah, I did. It was I did it in wax, and then it was a sculpture class I took at MPC. So it was like a semester.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How did you know?
It was a Monopoly guy, and then Yeah, and then a year later, that sculpture gets stolen at the Monterey Fairgrounds.
Oh no!
Before the exhibition,
Oh shit!
but
So they like it.
They liked it.
yeah. So yeah, I guess that's flattering
It's out
to
there
know
somewhere.
that somebody wanted it.
That's funny.
So yeah, and then I, as a Easter egg on my next painting, that like a year later, and yeah, December 2018, like I painted it in Morning Bells, which is sitting out here at the shop. But yeah, you could see the sculpture in the background. That's a good it's a good put goodbye to the sculpture, or it's just there. It's just a good memory. It's like okay, there it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my origin story.
That's crazy. So I just kind of took off for you right away. Like and that's the one thing though, is like you were entering into events, you were entering into competitions, like that stuff I never even did.
Yeah, I think it was
years.
I think it was eBay. Yeah, it took about 3 months to do the first few paintings, and then I was like, okay, well, I made them for a reason. Like I'm not just gonna have them here, I got to show them, I guess. So I did the due diligence to do the West End, and then it just took. It's like you do one event, then that one takes you to the next one, takes you to the next one. Same as a mural, somebody comes up to you, hey, you have business card, like. Can you do me a mural? Like that. So it's kind of like, it just, added on top of each other. With that, that seaside competition, and then did more. And then I think that was the following, then I met Stitch, and then I think I did the Faces of DACA too. That was another one. That was a series of the undocumented students from CSUMB and Hardnell. I did a couple exhibits for them, and then at that time, I met Chris Powers around that time. He was friends with Stitch. I think Stitch referred me to him to do T-shirts for my first solo exhibit, 2018 at the Wave Street Studios. And yeah, so Powers did the T-shirts, I think it was. And they had another studio over here on Munris. And also with Q and then Alex and then Ian, they were doing a magazine. So I was also featured in that little magazine too. Wow. So just little projects, and then we felt that vibe. They were also their own movement too. The Never Bored magazine, Never Bored zine. But yeah, I mean some things work out, some things don't. But we were all, it was kind of like that was like more like photographer, skater, artist mix. And musicians too.
Quite a mix.
Yeah. So and then I think I was featured there, and then Stitch wanted to be featured there, and the zine, and that was another thing too. So. Yeah. So that's how that was the start.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of different things, but yeah.
Yeah, my story is kind of all over the place, kind of crazy because
zigzaggy.
I did my first mural in 7th grade. I had an art class. It's probably the last real art class that I had. And the teacher, I'll give him all kinds of credit, Mr. Boyd. He saw that I had something different than the other kids in the class. Like every art project that we did, I just went crazy. I did all kinds of weird stuff. And he was like, you know what? And what's cool about my middle school time, they had this, what is it called? They had a project where they would let students do murals on all the walls, but they would only do select few students every year that could do that. And what they would do is, instead of doing the art class, they would, every time I had the art class, he would just send me out to do the wall. Oh wow! So I spent a whole semester or whatever.
This was middle school too.
This is in middle school, and I painted a Bob Marley mural, which is still at the middle school.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and
it stood the test of time.
So I did that, and after that, like outside of school projects, like you're saying, or just people, wanting help on art, I didn't do anything with art. I really got into sports. I started playing basketball a lot. Really got into basketball. That was pretty much all I thought about. And went to college for business. Didn't even think about art. It wasn't until I graduated college, got my business degree, looked at myself, said, I don't want to be a corporate guy. Like, there's nothing for me in that. That's not who I am. So
real quick, I don't want to cut you off, but yeah, like what you mentioned is that teacher. Like shout out to the teachers that give you that boost. I was mentioning it to Talia the other day. Like, it was my art teacher. Like in freshman year, they have academies in Monterey High School, so she applied for me for the art academy. Then you can't join it until like you're in sophomore year, but the next 3 years I'm in the art academy. So it's like specific classes, art related or whatever.
wow.
So yeah, it's like shout out for them to give you that boost. It's like, okay, let them create.
For sure.
So yeah, that's all I want to say.
Oh yeah, totally. Like teachers, mentors. Like even later after I started painting, because I was sitting in my house and I lived in New Mexico at the time, and my roommate was looking at me and we were both looking at the wall, and we might have been smoking a little weed. But we're looking at the wall, and I just told him, I'm like, man, that wall is way too white. Why do we have white walls? He's like, why do we have white walls?
Why do we have square buildings?
Yeah, and
make them round.
He's like, you should paint something. I was like, I should paint something. He's like, and I'll give him credit for this. He's like, we're going to the store right now. I'm gonna buy you paints, and I want to see you paint. So he did. We went to the store and he bought me paints, and that night I started a Bob Marley mural. It was funny. It went back to Bob Marley.
Yeah.
And Santana, and I painted them both up there. And I know you love the grid method.
Oh yeah.
That's how I started painting murals again. I drew it out on the paper and gridded it out, and then I taped it up on the wall, the grids, and I just did piece by piece, put it together. I was like, damn, I can do this. And like,
that's
he was
cool.
blown away.
Breakthrough.
And yeah, after that first year, I think I painted 20 paintings in my house. Like in the I think in the next 2 months.
Wow.
I just went crazy. I just started painting, and then I moved back to California, and a bunch of family and friends, they all started buying my paintings. I'm like,
wow,
I think I should try and make it as an artist.
How old were you there?
I think I was 22.
22. Oh wow, that's pretty good.
22, and so I came back here, and I give credit to my brother too. He saw that I was really getting into my art, and he introduced me to the artist I mentioned earlier. He said he's a good artist. I think you guys would kick it off. So we met, and it's really cool talking about teachers.
Yeah.
He was really good friends with a childhood friend of ours who was one of the best. His dad was one of the best teachers I ever had in my life at that same middle school.
Yeah.
He was like a motorcycle, like big dude, always wore motorcycle stuff, Harley guy, big beard, and just straight hippie motorcycle crazy.
What was his
nomad guy?
He was an artist, or he was a teacher?
He wasn't an artist. He was a teacher. He's a history teacher.
A history teacher. Oh wow.
And he's the first guy. Like, I'm talking about 6th grade, going to this guy's class, and he's talking about massive super volcanoes in America, like that could destroy the earth.
I love it.
He had us watch Apocalypse Now, Saving Private Ryan, all these crazy history movies.
Those some cool ones, yeah. This one in high school, I saw some cool, yeah.
I'm talking middle school,
Apocalypse
man.
Now.
Like,
oh, middle school, that's crazy.
I mean, for his class, you had to take a paper home to your parents and had them sign off saying that he was gonna challenge us, and he was gonna make us watch stuff that they probably weren't okay with, but it was for history. He was an amazing teacher.
That's awesome.
He passed away. I want to say 2000.
Yeah,
he passed away, but my brother was really good friends with his son, and so when I came back from California, the first time I met that other artist, Jesse, we went to his house. And his name was Mr. Molino.
Oh, wow.
His son had taken over the house, and I sat in his house and met my next mentor.
Wow. His son.
Not his son, but Jesse Foote. His son was really good friends with him as well.
Okay.
And we ended up, Jesse ended up muraling the whole inside of that house, which that house is gone now.
Oh, man.
They lost it, which is so sad because that's one of the coolest muraled houses and no one's ever seen.
Wow.
And this was before I was taking video of everything. I wish I had video then because I could have gotten images of this house. It was amazing. Like he had, I'll tell you just a little bit of like the images that were on these walls. Like he had his dog was floating in space with like a space helmet, flying through with Bob Marley blowing the universe out. And then there was a big gorilla reading the Arabian Nights to like all these. It was a wild house. Like there was so many crazy elements in there, and they took all the furniture out. It was just empty house with murals and artwork, and
it's unique to grow up in that environment.
Yeah, it blew my mind, and it really just catapulted me into this art life.
Yeah, I hope to have just those meditative, creative, just like ideas, like that can just transform, ways of thinking and stuff. And that's amazing.
It was, and since then, like I've had to take odd jobs here and there. Like I worked at security in the city doing for all kinds of things. Ended up working at a dispensary for a while. I've had all kinds of odd jobs, but it's always been the art. Like my goal since graduating college was I'm gonna make a way to make my artist life work.
That's good. That's really inspiring for the young artists.
Yeah, so then that's what I love about being here, talking with all these artists here at the shop. Anyone who comes in here, puts the money up to rent a space, they are already showing that they're dedicated to doing something with their creation and their passion. And I want to help anyone who has that passion or who has that drive. Like I want to use any tools that I have to help them, and like talking with everyone here, it seems like everyone wants to do the same thing. So
Troy seems very appreciative of just being in that space. And with he's like, with all these artists, you guys have inspired me to start painting. And they came specifically to do t-shirt designs, but like now he's just already taken up canvases this past week.
I seen that.
So
that's that's inspired. You just saw somebody else doing something. It's like,
how do I do that?
Too, how would I do it? Let me experiment that. So I saw him that he take a canvas and one morning he's like, man, your painting inspired me. So now I'm painting this.
Yeah, you start somewhere. For us, it's like we start somewhere. It's not unattainable for you. Like
it's amazing. I just went through his window and I see so many pieces that he has like and I get inspired like oh man, should I
so he's inspiring like that, us back.
And it's like exactly it's like that. It's
Ping
like
pong.
a circle thing.
It don't matter where you are in your
protons, neutrons, ding 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 ding.
That's what I love about it. There's no competition with you guys. Like you were saying, there's a friendly competition of just...
It's more
motivating, but the competition
uplifting
is in ourselves. When I see other people doing stuff, I don't care how good the artwork is or whatever. Right. It's showing that, wow, this person's motivated to create. I want to create.
From the inside. From the inside. And just more credit to also, going back to the teaching and stuff, like I hope to someday, like I don't feel like I'm as accomplished to teach yet, but someday, like, I'd like to give back, like I think when you get to a certain level of an artist, then they just move on to teaching, doing classes and, for the next generation and stuff. But that's down the line, that would be
definitely
cool.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Well, you got your young daughter out there who's already been watching you and painting, and so.
Yeah, as we're doing it, people are watching.
Give her credit too to my brother Manuel. They always,
Manuel, he's amazing. He's a really good photographer too.
Yeah.
He should get
I told him I'm gonna get your camera. So
oh man, he's the best.
And
he
always pushed me to do, and he always.
He's very supportive. I love you guys' relationship.
And he know how I can create, how fast I can be.
I love it. I love that family support for sure.
My wife too. She's not in that art,
thing,
but she's very supportive.
She's supportive.
That's awesome, man.
And I think we got new.
How long have we been?
I don't know. Yeah, we should.
I don't know.
We should.
Let's talk about.
We've been at 1 hour.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's not bad.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I didn't want it to drag. Like how long? I felt like
I feel like this has been good.
Okay. Okay. This is cool.
Yeah, let's talk about the show a little bit more. So we got the War Dance coming up.
War Dance.
Yeah, let's describe a little bit of what you're trying to get across with your pieces.
Yeah, I mean, like long time ago, I want to do. I like to do portraits a lot. So I've been last two couple years. I've been painting portraits. I want
Faces.
to get it. There is a I say not technique like something that take you back. Like you want to do something good.
It's a nostalgic feeling.
It's like the difficult thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Not right now because
Mm-hmm.
I think I get it through that
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
But that was do portraits.
Mm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
it's
I have
I
a
got everything. I got how to combine colors, how to create
yes,
something.
but the proportions
But
and
the,
getting
yeah.
getting the
So,
eyes right, getting the nose right.
and because I didn't went to school, art school, and
Mhm.
that, but I've been learning by myself.
Yeah.
And I think that was the hard part to do portraits.
Mm-hmm.
So I get into them like for 2 years, like straight up, boom, 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 and I have that thing like kind of one day I want to do like something, body
Body
movement,
wise, yeah.
because for me it's so interesting, like dancers, like fighters,
Figures.
they have all that kind of move, that expressions,
The
and I
different
wanna
positions
kind of
that
that
you came up
position,
with are insane.
and so I want to capture that and put it in canvas,
Mm-hmm.
and then when we come with the, that.
Yeah, you've done your homework there on the body positioning and stuff. Have you heard of is it Michael McDonald, the sculptor, or Richard McDonald?
The one in Carmel, we were just talking
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah.
I was talking about that.
Oh yeah.
Actually,
I met him at he had a show at
Sevilla,
his
we
gallery.
were saying, how can we get him to come to this show?
Oh, okay. He might be residing in Vegas, but maybe we could check out his gallery. He might be there.
See what's up.
I spoke to his curator one time, and then I met him at his gallery, and that was like right before my exhibit, the geometric exhibit, and he really liked it. Just the process of it, like mixing the Maxfield Parrish, the monochroma, the layering technique with old masters, and then and the geometric figure. So it's like three aspects of stuff. So I had a good little small conversation with him, but
Nice.
I don't know if he's even in town. It's like it looks like he moves around.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, if it just happens, it happens.
yeah, I can
was
put in that
telling-
effort. Maybe I could.
I was telling him like one day we went to Carmel with my wife and my daughter, and then we get to that gallery, and then when I get in, it's like wow,
Mhm.
all the sculptures that he has, like really good,
He's one to aspire to be as far as his
so
operation.
I get inspired in that. I say
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that in painting, like something.
Well, just to have
Something
his
similar,
foundry.
something
He has a
like that.
massive foundry and then
So
a
then
gallery.
when we start talking about it, so it's kind of like we click, like
Yeah.
oh we should do something together,
Yeah.
And then I come up with that. Like, I want to do dancers, so you say I want to do fighters.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
When you
man.
said dance, I was like, well, what's that? But what is the kind of the complete opposite? And it's
That's-
fighting like that. And that's like been such a big part of my life. Like that's another thing that I didn't talk about. That was a huge part of my life for a long time. Was
MMA.
I was in MMA. I was a jujitsu practitioner for a very long time. And my brother's a black belt under Cesar Gracie. Fights with Nate Diaz, Jake Shields, Gilbert Melendez, David Terrell, all those guys.
So
That's
cool.
my brother's team. And so it's been such an integral part of my life. And so and I've never really done many paintings of fighting, which is so
Wow.
weird about it. But when you said dance, I was like, okay, this is my moment to like really capture
That's so
that
cool.
part of my life.
Wow.
And
So that's fresh. It's really refreshing. Yeah, just to have your guys' two styles and to have an exhibit at the shop.
it's exciting to kind of show that primal movement, that primal, like that's part of what's human. Like
Mhm.
like we were talking about, like the extremes. You got
Imposing will.
one extreme of dance, which shows the movement of love, the movement of
Grace.
and just like flowing together. But then you got fighting, where
Yeah.
it's like this constant battle. But in that battle, you find this flow too that
Yeah.
turns into
It is a
sort of a
dance.
dance.
It is a dance,
It's
yeah.
a primal dance that one's to defeat the other, and the other one's more to
And then
flow
the
together.
two fighters come out at the end with a huge amount of respect for each other, just for the struggle. You know, they both.
Oh
struggle
yeah, it's a brotherhood that
Yeah.
you can't really find in much anything else. Like
Mm-hmm.
you could have a war with someone in a ring, and end up being best friends for the rest of your life just because of that battle.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like no
Yeah,
one
you can
else
become
knows
closer,
what
yeah.
that is.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, people who've never been in combat, yeah, they wouldn't know that. Like, it's like, oh no, we're probably like, it's like, it's kind of painful, you know. Like, and are you gonna like the person afterwards or whatever, you know? But it's like, no, it's like a camaraderie there.
Yeah, because and something we were talking about earlier.
It's respect.
When you talk, for them, it's their art form. For us, this is our art form. And most people only see the final product. They don't see everything that was put into that. The process, the long hours of concept.
The doubt.
The doubt, the struggle, everything that goes into
the discipline.
That those moments that are televised, those moments that are put up on a wall. There's so much that went into that people don't know. So what they attribute it to is like, oh, this person, wow, you're gifted, you're talented.
Yeah.
And it's a way of saying, yes, you have something that I don't understand. And that something is that dedication to the process.
Yeah.
That dedication to figuring out what's inside of you that you can bring out to make the best expression of what you are. For fighters, it's that training so hard, putting in all those hours, not going to the parties, not drinking,
it's focus. It's
even at times not having sex, like just total focus on the moment of, you know, winning that, getting that victory, or just putting your skills to the ultimate test.
It's a thing to be fortunate of, to not have those distractions, to have, let's say, a family that supports you, to do the focus, to be focused, and to have the discipline to stay at it and work through the end, towards the end,
same thing
to completion.
With the dancers, with the people who do dance, they're really, you
know. Nicole's friends, the couple, Natasha.
The couple we made, Natasha.
Yeah, they're they have a dancing what do you call it, dance hall, or they were teaching before COVID, and PG on Lighthouse, and a young couple, Russian couple, and
very young.
Yeah, and they're like dancing with the star status, like just like professional, like really focused.
Yeah, that's their art form.
Yeah.
The one movie that really impressed me with that was Black Swan. I don't know if you guys seen that.
Black Swan. Oh yeah, with
Natalie Portman.
Yeah, Natalie Portman. Yeah. I think I saw it in theaters.
That showed how brutal ballet can be on, you know, these dancers. And
it's cool that you put like the feet, because that's what they always hurt. You know, they hurt their knuckles, but then you have the wrap, so it's like hurt knuckles. You know, so
yeah,
like bloody. What do you call it?
Hand wraps.
Tendons, or bloody
knuckles.
Yeah,
bloody knuckles.
Bloody. But that's another name for an exhibit.
Yeah, right. I know. That would have been a good
or
one.
Arthritis. Just kidding. Yeah.
But no, yeah, that symbolism, I think, was really important for us to use as our promotional image.
That's cool, man.
Was just to show, like, because that's where it ends. Like, all your energy and stuff, like, for a fighter, it's going to end right at the hands. Like,
they're like throbbing, pulsing.
Yeah, that's, and then for the dance, it's all your weight is on top of those toes.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, so it's like the culmination, the pinnacle point is, for a fighter, it's in those hands. For a dancer, it's in the feet.
It's beautiful to tell that story. I think, I don't know if you guys still want to do the walkthrough, but I mean, I guess this could be a good walkthrough, good explanation of the series. But
oh yeah, that's happening.
Oh, okay, all right.
But no,
I think it should. I think it should.
Anyone who watches this podcast, you know,
for historical purposes,
they'll get a little bit more info.
Cool. Yeah. This is the behind the scenes sneak peek.
Yeah, and I want to say, like, I'm really excited about this, man. We getting really good click on that.
Yeah, well, and everything's opening up. We should have a good turnout.
I want to say to the people, you know, listening, watching this, you should just come up, you know, come and check it out. For beginners, artists, they want to check it out. We are here, you know.
Come on, hang out.
To talk to them.
Marina, Salinas, you know? Monterey, Santa Cruz.
That's what we need, you know. When you are emerging artists, you know.
You need good feedback. Good feedback, good recognition.
You know?
Yeah.
And we are here at the shop, you know. Anybody who wants to come and, you know,
when I see you guys, I'm just a fan, you know, just like, and I forget it, like at the pop up, like it was good to see. Just what Jess mentioned, that it was like a good reconnecting with the community, and getting that feedback, and everybody. Every time I was painting the corner, but like every time I'd see it, they kept pointing at me. Oh, that's the artist for the ceiling. Like, look it up, you know. Like, it was cool, you know. But it was definitely needed, you know. It's you know, it's a good service to the community, you know, to provide art and something that they haven't seen, or you know, just different perspectives, and something to get away. It's a good weekend event, good Friday night event.
Yeah, we'll be showcasing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It will be available to look at as well. But if you can make it Friday, because that'll be the
Friday's the boom. Yeah, big surprise.
That'll be the night to be there.
It'll be fresh.
So we got Natalia's showcase happening
on the
at
14th.
The Reef at the 14th next week, and then we got ours at the end of the month, April 30th, and then we got a pop up in Salinas. The next week, May 7th.
Gotta commit.
Get out to Salinas for Andre Kalani and Jesus.
Well, actually, also to the pop-up.
Garcia, sorry.
Yeah, Natalia's show at the Reef on the 14th, but then the 25th, we're doing a skate deck competition.
That's right.
Wrap-up, yeah.
I need to get going on that.
Sunday, April 25th, Sunday evening, we're going to wrap it up. Follow Surf and Turf on their story. You'll be able to vote for all the new, it's a superhero theme, skate decks. So really excited to see like what everybody's going to create. But we have, you know, superheroes of the likes of Wolverine, you know, Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, and
I got Storm,
Spawn, Black Panther, you know. So yeah, all 12 different artists and painting on skate decks.
This one is gonna be really good, man.
Yeah, and the competition is fierce, and it's an exciting theme and topic, and because, I mean, everybody has their superhero, and there's like, over 300 superheroes, but 12 artists, 12 decks, April 25th. Follow the story on at Surf and Turf 831.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add, Avelino?
No, just invite everybody to come, you know.
Mm-hmm. I got to start painting again, too. Start on my new series.
I need to start on my skate deck. I don't got anything yet.
You got time. You got time.
Well, thanks, guys. I guess we'll wrap it up because
that's awesome. Yeah, this is really cool.
But yeah, this is the first of many. So everyone who's watching, I hope you all enjoyed hearing our stories, hearing our background, and we're excited to spotlight some more. I don't know what he said, but
oh yeah.
Oh yes. So tune in to our next episodes. We're gonna get this more professional. We're gonna work it in. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Arsenio Baca.
Avelino Sanher.
G. Zambrano.
Have a good night.
How do you say Zambrano?
This was the Shopcast.
That's shop.
See you on the next one. Same shop channel. Same shop time.